Welcome back, everybody, to the Breakout Esports Finals Masters Series. My name is Artie, joined here by Rio. And Rio, we've seen some good stuff.
Really have. It was quite exciting the last round. Divine Dead came back, and they just gave us everything that they had. And they eventually took away the win. So that was exciting to see. Great gameplay. It'd be interesting to see what the next match holds for us.
Exactly. And if you already weren't having enough fun watching our first two matches of the lower bracket finals, well, we're about to jump into the semifinals of the upper bracket. That's right. We've got Team Scallywags and Team LRC, and this is the match I've been saving my latte for.
That looks amazing.
Thank you. And as we are about to get started into this next one, we're going to see some insane strategy coming through, because remember, these are teams that have not lost.
So it looks for the maps. They have banned Seoul, they have banned Las Vegas, and they're going to start on Monaco. And Scallywags have picked Skyway Stadium, and the decider match will be on Cis Horizon. I believe this is the first time we're seeing Monaco today, so this will be really interesting to see. And Skyway Stadium is always a favorite, and Cis Horizon will be a great one to finish it off on if we get there.
You're right. This is the first time we're seeing Monaco today, so I'm super excited. I always love seeing Monaco, and actually, once we see this, that means that we will have seen every single map today already, which is nice because it's only been three matchups so far. So pretty good showing, and LRC picking Monaco means that they probably have something cooked up. That being said, I am always excited to see Elvin playing on Skyway Stadium. Their team has some fun shenanigans that they like to pull. But the thing about Monaco, right, is that we don't know which version of Monaco it could be. There's plenty of different options here, including with and without the church.
Yeah, sometimes church is just leveled, and I personally like it inside the church. There's not a lot of entryways. You kind of have to go in through the front or the back, but it's always exciting when it's just flattened, and especially if there is a cash out station on the flattened part of the map. So it'll be exciting to see what we get.
Yeah, well, if there is the church, I do love going in the back as much as the church would disallow me to have that opinion. However, as we get ready to start into this one, the real question is going to be, what are the team comps that they're picking between LRC and Scallywags? What kind of format are we going to see? Are we going to be seeing the double medium? Are we going to be seeing the light, medium, heavy? And if we do see the double medium, is it going to be DMAT or is it going to be double heals? I know that for Scallywags, we're very likely to see the double heals come through.
Yeah, I think that the smart choice is always the double heals, but any variation that we're able to see is great. I personally love to see when we get lights in the play, just because it adds just that more, kind of chaos and more kind of skill, in my opinion, to the match. So I am excited to see what they pick.
Absolutely, and jumping in here it is, and I do see a double medium and a heavy and an HML. So this is really going to be a battle of the kits, a battle of, how do you find your skirmishing? How do you find your fights? So,
well, let's jump in and see.
Nason 808. F-car in hand, 25 bullets in the chamber. Let's see what happens.
Absolutely, Scotty. Time for our contestants to prove
their
mettle.
Faut faire genre que je viens de finir après 7ème. Ils sont sur le toit du truc. Vas-y, je vais déverrouiller avec bourré, au pire on s'en va.
You can always pad here. There's still
I do love that crane. It really gives you a nice
look at crane.
spot to be. It's also hard to get
2 bars.
chipped away if you're stuck up there. So
absolutely, we're seeing already as Scallywags find a good upper angle, and they're able to find one player to take out immediately. The pad in will come through, and Kelcam tries to find a side entrance on the sidelines, while Gremlin just head first into the enemies. Now, one thing to pay attention to here is the fact that Elvin is not just charging in with his heavy, but he's always making sure he has a sideline to get in to heal the heavy when he needs to.
Nice.
Jumps out the window, kind of surfs on a red barrel there for a second, but look at the cohesion that Team Scallywags has.
Yeah, true pocket healer, and I think that
Je l'ai killé,
is
la
what
Volt.
comes in
Let's
handy.
go away,
You
let's go
kind
away,
of get a
let's go
little bit of distance and make sure that you're not getting picked off while you can heal your team. Just really everything that you need to have a good team that's always healed.
Exactly. It's all about managing when you're doing damage output and when you're doing damage mitigation. Once we find out exactly how LRC plans on dealing with this, though, we should have a better
Sure.
understanding of what's it needed to be adjusted if they want a chance to deal
down.
with Scallywags. Scallywags, I do not believe, have dropped a single point throughout this entire qual yesterday.
I think they're coming northwest. Don't even try
Well,
to
and
like
what's
make
interesting
too
too is
much
it looks
noise.
like Elwin is actually using a controller. I don't know if we've seen
toi.
anybody else use a controller
Je
for
crème,
this,
toi de la
but
maison,
if it works
on
for him,
prépare
that's
ou
great.
pas?
On pad.
Ouais, tiens, je passe maintenant.
Ok. Donc là, je fais d'abord le premier trou, moi.
Rosary. Je vais mettre la cible, j'arrive.
Ça va pas marcher.
Vas-y, je le fais.
Window doesn't have very many angles.
You see LRC hopping in. They're kind of
Try not to
staying
move too
away from
much
the
here,
cash out. They've got a lot of distance
so I
behind
add
it.
on.
Here in this
We're third floor right now.
Oh yeah, Scallywags still have not had anyone push their own building here, but look at that. They can see the motion in the windows, and as LRC tries to get the steal, Scallywags will drop it down a level. This will be a little bit difficult for LRC to deal with because they can't just steal it for free. They're gonna have to go push this fight. They see that they get Elvin super low, so Elvin's gonna drop down. They try to push that, but he's already healed up by the time they cross the street. LRC now struggling to find an in. Scallywags poking their head out of every single building. This is getting intense.
One shot on me.
down. They able to trade the kill, and they do. So now it's 2v2.
Stay alive, stay alive. You're getting chased. I'm going for the defib.
Yeah, I'm getting hard aped, but I'm fine.
And they're able to bring
Oh,
it back.
I got stuck. Reloading. On me.
I think that this first cash out is theirs unless they all
Just
go
play
down.
time, play time, play time.
Yeah, can we play time, Gremlin?
Yeah, this should
Yeah,
just be
wait.
a quick cash out here for the Scallywags. LRC have not tried to find their entry yet, and look at that, no chance to get the steal through because Scallywags still has one up playing for time. Nasan tries to find his way in time, but unfortunately it's just not going to happen, and I believe that is going to be Scallywags taking the
Nice,
first
good
cash
job.
out.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a great push.
Good stuff, guys. Well
Unfortunately, they weren't able to secure it, and Scallywags takes it. And they finally get the team wipe at the end. So we'll see Vault 2 open inside the church, which is not destroyed. And we'll see where they take it.
I'm gonna gate this. Where do you want to go? C or B?
It's the mighty team respawn.
A new event is looming and our contestants might find
Sur le top là.
On va rester là, de toute façon.
Taking some really long
Ah, mais y a-
engagement fights
Wesh.
here.
Le
I know that they're
temps
trying to get chip damage away on them, but still, interesting that they're just fighting from
Le light à gauche,
Across
à
the-
gauche,
across the map.
venir le light.
top of
Yeah,
those
when it
rooftops.
comes to Monaco, it is always going to be those, the chip damage fights, but
Il y en a un qui est là, là.
again, when
Il est
you
en
have
bas
the
de la
double
maison,
healers, it's very rare that you actually find an
L'autre, il est en bas
opportunity
de la
from
maison.
that. But here we go. That is an opportunity as the heavy on the side of Scallywags gets shredded. He is going to be able to stay alive here. Unfortunately, LRC doesn't get the finish, but now it does come through. Gremlin goes down. And now we are watching as LRC manages to put themselves in a good position to get the steal off. Scallywags unable to find their way through.
I mean, they're really stealing, so this guy's by
Yep,
himself,
this team
heavy on
is
the roof.
successful.
No, there's two.
So now they just have to bunker down
Okay, well-
and see if they can
We
hold it.
gotta wait for a
Play
push
my
here.
life.
So yeah, just play your life. Wait for Alvin's coin if you can.
Yeah, you can hear in the comms, they're waiting for the coins, they're waiting for the team to be back up, but at the same time, this does also give LRC the ability to get back up. Now, the question is, how will Scallywags go for this? Will they utilize Kelcam as the light to try and find a side angle, pull crosshairs away from the main aggressors, or are they going to just go for insane damage output, hit every single shot while you're jump padding across the way? It's going to be FCAR versus FCAR here, Elvin versus Nasan as they both try to
That's their
deal
bubble
a
already.
little bit of damage to one another across the side. Look at that, they're both playing identically with their heavies, but it's LRC that takes the most damage, and Scallywags will find this opportunity
I got a
to
1v1
go
against the
and
other
get
medium.
a finish.
Dead.
Medium 1v1 is going to go the way of
I'm going
Elvin
point. You
here,
guys
and that
kill the
means
heavy.
the
I got
Scallywags has found their opening. This is going to be a perfect opportunity to get the cash out stolen here. While LRC, they try to go for the res, they try to go for the sustain. It's not going to come through though. Gremlin will unfortunately get taken out. And this is now just down to a 2v2 on both sides, but LRC doesn't have control. They do have all three members up now, and an opportunity to steal with the barricade coming through as well, but no.
Interrupted.
Look at that interruption. Is it enough?
Nope. Wow.
En vrai, pour les
Wow,
premiers combats,
it wasn't enough. And that means Scallywags won that with a
Parce que c'était juste
single
avant.
stun gun.
Yeah, they came in at the exact
Ah oui,
right
du coup, le
moment.
système, il
Boy,
était...
that really saved the map for them.
That was such an interesting play at the very end there. They almost won the team fight, but at the end of the day, it was, hey, we know that they just have too much sustain with 2 sets of defibs. Kelcam, dip into the back and find your entry for the stun. And he did. The stun gun got so much value there. I was so concerned that the stun gun was going to miss and hit the medium, but it hit the heavy, and it did exactly what it needed to do.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that he got in because there was a barricade, there was a heavy, and really just I think somebody was being healed as well. So he got in at the perfect angle and was able to get it. So amazing play. Really what we want to see today.
Exactly. You know, every time I'm playing those like stealth games where you have to like sneak past the armed guards, it's like if these were players, like I could never beat this mission. But then here comes Kelcam and actually doing this with the stealth. He sneaks past the armed guards to get to the heavy, and he gets the stun through. Absolutely insane. This man's is playing Splinter Cell while we're all playing the finals, and we'll get some more insane Splinter Cell action for you after this break.
En vrai, généralement, des fois il a que, mais généralement il a ses splits.
Alrighty, everybody, we are back, and we're already about to jump right into Skyway Stadium. Once again, we've got Kelcam on the light, we've got LRC on the double medium. Rio, things are heating up down here.
Absolutely. I'm interested to see if the Scallywags pull this one out again, because they pulled it off in a 2-0 this last match, and if they're able to do that again, it really shows kind of their dominating strength.
We can tap and wrap around them with your teleport. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gatewaying point. We might just be able to go A here, like wrap all the way right side. You know?
Yeah.
We see LRC opening the first vault and setting up. Looks like Kelcam's pretty far away. I'm interested to see what he's doing.
Go attends. Attends, je mets des mines ici.
Ils vont TP à gauche, à gauche, à gauche.
And we see the Scallywags set up from high above. They're looking for any shots they can get off. And it looks like Vault 1 is on the move. I think they're going to try and intercept them here at A.
Right now.
Oh, we're very separated.
They're on A. I'm coming back to you guys. I don't.
One fell. Kill that heavy. Look at that heavy.
Check this out. Big opening here after an accidental fall from Grace, but Scallywags unable to finish him off before the escape happens. So, Nason going down to 1 HP. No opening will be found, no quarter will be given, and Vault 1 remains in the hands of LRC. The Scallywags need to find their way in soon. Elvin going to be padding all the way across here, but Kelcam goes out, which means they got to wait a little bit longer
I poked him. So.
Yeah, and that 20
Yeah,
second
they're all full
respawn time
health.
are really kind of detrimental. It's just such a long time to wait if you can't bring them back. So being down
Yeah,
2,
sur
On a un pad pour y
it's
retourner au
just
cas où, non?
hard.
Pas encore moi. Je pète
Moi,
les
je suis en
cibles.
cooldown.
Ils sont sur nous, ils sont sur nous. De
Yeah,
l'autre
it's
côté.
always going to be a difficult time when you're trying to get the perfect assault on the enemy team. When you lose one so early or you just take too much damage so early on. But again, that's the key difference between these two playstyles. LRC have 2 sets of defibs. That's 2 sets of near instant respawns that they can play with.
I think you
And
bait and then
Scallywags
I can
only
jump
has
past you guys.
1 set of paddles. Now, Elvin is
No, I
going
haven't seen
to
anyone
try to
train.
put himself on the sideline position here, not aligning with Gremlin, allowing instead for Kelcam to come in and try to get a stun off. But we will see Kelcam going out yet again. And Gremlin unable to find a good way in. But they get the steal. Unfortunately, I do believe that steal is going to come right back towards LRC. But that hasn't happened just yet. Instead, Scallywags still going to be applying pressure from the outside here. Kelcam is back up. Gremlin on low HP, but it's Elvin that goes down first. Nason gets traded out as well, leaving a 2v2. And the spoiler goes out. This is just one player left on LRC, and as they get wiped, Scallywags gets the win here in such an interesting team fight, spanning 3 different buildings.
Yeah, what a quick
I
down
think we do play close.
the res is really coming handy, but they weren't able to kind of hold it.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
And I think that they have this first
Over the
cash
up,
out
over the up.
done. By the time they respawn, they're not going to have
I'm
a
with
top
you,
on
I'm
it.
with you, I'm with you. They're here, they're above
Yeah,
us.
this is definitely too much time left up. I think that even if LRC makes it here, they're not going to have time to win the fight and get the steal. So they're going to have to go for that steal pretty instantly. Unfortunately for Nason, this is exactly what Scallywags is anticipating. And so that's going to be the very first dub going towards Scallywags. And remember, Scallywags won map 1. All they need is one more cash out now.
Yep, they really are a dominating force. It's quite exciting to see. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another 2-0 right here, right now.
Absolutely. It's all going to depend on who maintains control, because if LRC ends up getting control and can take the first cash out here, then it could be the case that Scallywags can't keep up with that defense. However, LRC, they need to make sure that they nail this first team fight. Now, looks like they're not going to be going for the fastest approach. Instead, trying to find the easiest way to go and gatekeep. What they're trying to do is watch where Vault 2 is moving towards. But look at that! The light portal! They don't get a chance to do that because the teleport takes them directly into the cash out. And that means that Scallywags is already baked in with the final cash out if they're able to take it. LRC wants to make sure this isn't the final cash out. Let's see what's going to happen now.
Yeah, you just have so many options when you play this fight, and I think that we're really seeing that in the stronger teams, that they can handle it, they can do it.
First bit of damage is going to come through. It's traded out, though. Nason has to back off to take a little bit of a heal break. Kelcam gets healed up. Gremlin, in the meantime, goes down to very low HP. He's unable to deal with the damage, and that means it's going to be a trade here. But what is this? 2 members of LRC down.
We don't want to kill him right away.
Time here. Look at that. Elvin saying, don't worry, everything is under control as they get the heals to come through. This now allows LRC
but we definitely just let one of the mediums rest and then we kill him.
At the same time,
okay.
That one more team fight is going to be for everything.
Yeah, I personally don't see it happening. I think that they are going to have just a few
spawn,
seconds to get in there and get on it,
or
and
maybe
it's just going to be near impossible. I think that Scallywags are going to take this again.
Have to, yeah.
I gotta say, it's a really dominant performance from Scallywags today. But we're going to see LRC. They're going from the hotel. They're on the rooftop. Good opening damage. Good separation. Gremlin is now separated from the team here. The question is that going to be enough? Because they're still running out of time. As that timer ticks down in the cash out, things will get harder and harder. Nason Spoiler taking a little bit of damage and not healing it through just yet. But look, that Gremlin is going to go out, but there's still only so much time left on the cash out. They need to get this steal started now. They go for the res, they go for the APS. Will this be enough as Scallywags tries to find an entry?
Oh,
Nason stays alive. The body block was enough. They get the steal and they stay in the running.
Wow, that was perfect. So we're seeing some really great last-second plays.
Je sais qu'il m'a vraiment one-shot, genre 2 balles, c'était 2 têtes terminées. La LH, elle a été up, non?
Non, non.
Faut les
And
surprendre dans
this
leur
is
patte dessus.
also a really good opening for LRC because the vault
ça,
spawns
ouais.
a very similar position last
Non, ça
time.
va.
Super close to where that cash out ended. That means that they'll have the ability to
Mais vraiment,
control
il
the
met que
vault
des
at the
têtes,
very beginning. But
C'est quoi le mieux pour nous?
Pourquoi
C'est
il
B?
place,
we saw
Piggy
Scallywags just use that
quoi?
gateway to make sure that they couldn't get
Ouais,
gate kept.
We
We
don't let
might
them
see
get
the
B. I
same
think we
thing
go
here,
towards B. If they
playing in
take-
the
if they
opposite
take D, it's
direction, where
fine,
they're
right?
able to have a gateway
I think D's hard also,
between
but I
both
think I would
cash
rather
outs.
play D,
So
bro.
no matter where LRC end up taking the vault, they'll be ready for it no
They're
matter
zipping right
what.
now, right? Or never mind. I thought they were zipping towards me. They're going B.
Yeah, it looks like they're taking it over now. Going quick, going fast. And I don't think they're going to get any teammates
Filo,
down. In
Vas-y, prenez le truc, je vous chef, prenez le.
Vas-y, j'y vais.
catch out
Ouais,
started.
ils y sont déjà. Ils y sont.
And Heavy Shield really
Chacun
comes
se
in
balance
handy.
loin.
Just
Eh, il y en a un qui est mort de
Attends,
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 le petit là,
really
un HP.
listening.
Mort, le petit, venez,
Vas-y,
venez.
go, go, go.
Venez sur moi, venez sur moi.
Look at that, the glitch
They're
grenades keeping Team LRC grounded here as they're unable to get the bounce pads up in time. But it is going to be Scallywags that lose the first member of the team there, meaning that they're at the deficit when it comes to the 2v3. Elvin goes down, and there goes Kelcam, and that means that we are going to be with LRC starting up this last cash out. And this is going to be another massive bit of importance for LRC, because if they can't nail this, that's it for their run today.
Prends bien le light.
Play right here.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it's super laggy.
You see them respawning in, coming out. That zipline is so handy. It lets you get from point A to point B just so fast. I've really been using it a lot when I play.
The bridge area. I'm gonna jump over and put us
Absolutely.
underneath
Having the
them,
double
like,
movement
outside.
on your medium is super
go back
important
down.
when you're
Yeah,
running
yeah,
the
yeah.
heavy and light
I'm
setup.
down here.
And the question now is going to
Right on
be,
this
will
rock.
they approach from the park side or will they be approaching from the buildings? I think that they're going for the
Bah, ils arrivent
park
pas,
side
ils sont là,
approach
tiens.
right
Il y
now,
a le light qui va
but
flank,
they
hein.
are
Faites
actually
gaffe à
going to
vous.
be using Kelcam to get a gateway in.
Ils ont TP,
So
ils ont TP.
they're waiting for the gateway to get placed through, and then Elvin and Gremlin will follow through shortly. And there it is. They're in the bottom of the building,
There's really,
taking
I
their
mean, we'd have to
time.
go, like, this northeast side over here to like climb up on them.
Are they going to drop it? Are they going to play for the fight first? Are they going to try to fake a steal, put some fake pressure, and draw LRC down to their level with them?
Look for a pick here. Get
Look
ready.
at this. They're taking their time here because they know that they don't need to aggress just yet. Elvin trying to find an angle. He knows that they're on the roof, but doesn't know exactly where.
For it to come back.
Ouais, je sais pas ce qu'ils font.
Je suis caché,
Yeah,
moi.
we'll see if the strategy pays off. I mean, they are playing it slow. Both
Ouais, ouais.
teams are. They're hiding behind the dishes. I love it.
I'm looking now. It's like,
And here it is.
Heavy
Elvin
low
opens
already.
up with a few shots there. They get the first bit of information, but that is information that goes both ways
one
here.
shot right now,
And
one
as the
shot.
mines get shot underneath them,
Go le
it
temps,
is
le temps,
going
le
to be
temps.
Elvin going down to very low HP. He can't be healed back up, so he's got to wait for the long timer. Now we see LRC dropping down to hold the point, and this might be not enough time for Scallywags to finish this fight. At first, I was so confident, but because they had to wait for that reset, it was a little bit much. And now there's the gas as well. Only one healer can't outkill that. Spoiler is going to take a bunch of damage here, but it's Kelken that goes out first. Blacks gets healed all the way back up, and Nason and Black stand up strong as Gremlin goes out. Just up to Elvin, but not enough time to get the seal. That means Scallywags give up this map, and it's going to be going to map number 3 here.
Wow.
Bah, ils attendent le dernier
Really
moment.
excited.
pour qu'on détraille.
Le call du temps, il allait.
That was
Parce que moi,
such an insane thought process there, because we see the Scallywags, they're taking their time and they're doing what they can to try and take space, but every single time that they enter an angle expecting to find someone, there's no one there, it kept cutting their timer shorter.
Yep. Yeah, and the slow plays didn't really help them that much because they got on to point and they just didn't have time to retake it. So I think if they need to play a little more aggressively, we'll see if they change that up in the next match.
Exactly. I think that we needed that aggro there. I could see where they were going with that. They wanted to make sure that when they executed the team fight, that when they won, there's no chance left for LRC to come back. But they have to still win that for that plan to work out. And by just taking away your own timer, you're only doing yourself a disservice when it comes time to nail that team fight. But we're going to be jumping into map number 3 very, very soon. So sit tight and see how this all folds out right after this break.
C'est qu'en vrai, on devrait peut-être. Pour les
And welcome back to Breakout Esports Master Series for the finals. We're in map number 3 of the upper bracket semifinals. This is where it will all go down on Cis Horizon. And once again, we've got the heavy medium light and the double heals medium.
Yeah, you love to see it. Really, both teams are pretty equally matched, and Cis Horizon's a great map to see. The one thing I like about Cis Horizon is that there's no variations of it, so it's kind of always the same, no matter where you play. And yeah, well, we're going to see kind of what both teams can pull out, because they both have trained and are experienced on it.
I like to be here.
Yeah, the number one thing to sort of pay attention to here is how Kelcam is approaching these fights. Because again, when you've got the invis, you've got the gateways, it's going to be up to the light to kind of determine how you get that immediate opening. We saw in that last fight on Skyway Stadium how they were unable to get that opening damage. And on this map, it's going to be so important for that light to find an opening angle here and there. So
That's their
we're going to be watching as LRC is going to be able to take control of Vault 1 to start things off and see where they're taking it, Rio.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing is that they are using a lot of the barrels and gas quite frequently, both teams. So it's interesting to see just everything kind of being played that is available in the map and not just your utility and relying on it.
Yeah, so important to use those to get the opening, especially the red barrels to break the floor, the fire barrels to counter any gas, smoke barrels even to cover movement, and my favorite, the goo barrels to block off doorways and sort of, you know, Minecraft your way out of any situation. You see that barricade coming up and blocking the whole doorway as well. A little bit more structurally sound than the goo barrels. But we're going to be watching as Gremlin and Kelcam hold in the back here. Elvin on the staircase, ready to support the heavy. Kelcam trying to find his entry. Once they get that health reset, it's going to start off, and here it comes. The RPG separating the heavy from the rest of LRC, and now Scallywags find a little bit of an entry point. Blacks goes down to low HP, but it's Gremlin that drops out first.
Medium 1 bar. Fuck.
That FCAR is doing damage. Really just chipping away at the enemy team.
Kelcam is going to drop out as well. Scallywags needs to get a full reset. LRC looking strong on this first cash out. I think that this could be a quick one here for LRC. Scallywags will have enough time for one more team fight, but they have to go for a little bit more of an aggressive approach.
Yeah, and honestly, LRC has got a great setup. They've got 2 APS turrets. They've got the barricades set up. They're in a kind of a good corner. I would probably try and blow it up from below, but the APS can actually destroy stuff from below the ground as well. So, really strong setup. I just don't see anybody breaking this defense.
Exactly. They would need a couple well-placed red barrels to cut through, but as Scallywags try to make their way in, they are going to have a hard time dealing with this. Look at that. The heals are going to come out, though, which means less damage gives them an entry. That means Naysat is the last person standing. Will he be able to get the kill, though? He gets the kill. No steal will happen in time. Scallywags unable to come away with that one, close as it was.
Yeah, wow. Both teams took a lot of damage there. I'm honestly surprised that they would break in so well. They couldn't get it, but they really are showing that they can still do quite a lot of damage.
autres.
Ouais, c'est ce qu'il faut.
Lui, il nous fait trop
Plus en
mal. Hein.
plus Oka qui nous aurait enculé à live.
Ouais.
A very strong start for LRC. This is what we kind of needed from them because the first map super heavily baited against them, where Scallywags ended up just taking the control away from LRC. No matter what LRC did, they couldn't find a way in. Then, the last map on Skyway Stadium, LRC slowly adapting and overcoming to whatever pressure the Scallywags is pushing to them. And now, they're keeping that same energy. Look at this, Spoiler ends up going down here, but it's not going to matter to them. This is just a vault fight. You just throw the res without even moving him into a safe spot. And also, Vault 2 making its way over to Cash Out C already.
Yep, and that's the advantage of having a light as well. Just get in there, get out, and get the cash out
Non mais il
started.
colle au cul black, c'est ça que je veux dire.
Après derrière eux, t'inquiète.
Moi je suis
Really,
bien
the
en fait.
movement and traversal
Ils
is
sont
just
pas loin de toi, hein, Black.
unparalleled.
Il pad maintenant. Premier qui a pad.
It's about to be up.
Yep, okay.
He just came up.
Gremlin, Kelcam, and Elvin are going to make their approach here. Kelcam is
probably that
on
kid
the
that was
same
alone,
floor.
which is the
Gremlin
point.
taking a little bit of shots from the second floor here. Gets back up to recover with Elvin. Now the healer and the heavy are together in the light, trying to find his way in. Looks like the steal is going to be forced just to draw someone out. Will the steal happen? LRC let the steal go. LRC in the middle of setting up here kind of forgot about the point for a second there. They're seeing that they're about to drop it from the side here. Look at this approach, but that approach requires so much precision. Nason didn't quite nail it, but is it going to be all right? It is, as Elvin and Kelcam go down and Gremlin as well. Look at that.
You can just hear the chaos in their chat too. They're just fighting and really trying to stay on.
Absolutely insane. They just drop out from one window into the next.
I love it. Sister Horizon's a great map for this.
C'est toi qui dois le faire, c'est toi qui dois le faire. Tu la lances dessus, tu la fais péter dessus là. Tu te mets devant, vas-y lance là et tu fais péter
They're
dessus.
setting up the gas is just so powerful.
Refais-le.
Vas-y vite,
Elle est bien là, elle est bien en vrai.
And I almost never see anybody running a smoke. So a smoke, and you can throw a fire, but a fire just creates a whole nother challenge once it's in there. So it's it's a really powerful thing that they're taking advantage of. Setting up,
Exactly.
and I would bet that they hold this point, and this might be the end here.
It really could be because they're trying again. They want to find one way to get in, one way to do damage, but they're not doing it in time. They're wasting a lot of time here just trying to find the perfect entry that's not going to present itself. Look at this. Gremlin trying to go for the steal while Elvin tells him to drop it down. There's a little bit of a breakdown of the plans here, but Blacks ends up going down. He gets res, but there's still a 5-second window where he's not going to be up yet. And look at that. Spoiler, Nasan still able to pick up a couple kills here. Gremlin gets Nasan, but Blacks finishes it off, and that's going to be it already. LRC actually coming out on top. They're going to be dropping Scallywags down into the lower bracket, and LRC is going to be qualifying to continue for our finals today. And Scallywags might have to go up against some incredible opponents here. They still have a road ahead of them today, but that was an insane fight and good growth from LRC.
Absolutely. Honestly, after that first map, I thought that Scallywags were just going to take this whole thing, but LRC kind of realized where they messed up and pivoted and just kind of brought the force. That was a great. Last two matches were great.
Exactly. I think that what it was you can see LRC in the first map, they're not used to playing with the light. They're not used to playing against a light player that can teleport their team or can hit a stun gun at just the right time. So they realize, hey, we need to put ourselves in situations where these things won't matter. And that's exactly what they did. They didn't end up putting themselves in a situation where, hey, we could potentially lose this steal. Hey, we can just keep doing damage output because they only have one healer. It's going to cause them some problems. And we kept seeing that when they would just stall the fight by dealing a little bit of damage to Elvin. Then they'd have to back off and wait.
Yep.
And that 10-second window where you're trying to get your health back just adds up over time. And still an incredible performance from the Scallywags, but wow, LRC, I'm impressed.
I am too, and they had great defenses every time that they got the cash out started, and the very few steals, so it was a really great defense from them.
Exactly. So I'm very excited to see LRC going on into our grand finals, but in order to get to those grand finals, we still have a lower bracket to complete. So we'll come back with the rest of the lower bracket right after this break. And in, Scallywags poking their head out of every single building. This is getting intense.
One shot
on me.
they able to trade the kill, and they do. So now it's 2v2.
Stay alive, stay alive. You're getting
Playing for time. Nasan tries to find his way in time, but unfortunately it's just not going to happen. And I believe, and Scallywags will find this opportunity
I got a 1v1
to go
against the
and
other
get
medium.
a finish. Though Gremlin will unfortunately get taken out. And this is now just down to a 2v2 on both sides, but LRC doesn't happen just yet. Instead, Scallywags still going to be applying pressure from the outside here. Still pretty instantly, unfortunately for Nasan. Yeah, this is exactly what Scallywags is anticipating, and so that's going to be down to very low HP. He's unable to deal with the damage, and that means that it's going to be a true find and entry. There, meaning that they're at the deficit when it comes to the 2v3. Elvin goes down, and just as well, only one healer can't outkill that. Spoiler is going to take a bunch of damage. Heals are going to come out, though, which means less damage gives them an entry. That means Nasan is the last person standing. Will he be able to get the kill, though? He gets the kill. No steal will happen in time. Scallywags unable to come away with that approach, but that approach requires so much precision. Nasan didn't quite nail it, but is it going to be all right? It is, as Elvin and Kelly